Hello again, Loveland High School seniors. Mr. Kane here, ready to tackle video number 3. That would be standardized tests, and if you choose whether or not you want to send your test scores. Let me remove myself and let's get into the video. So why should you watch this video? If you want to learn what it means for colleges and universities to be test optional, this video would be for you. Maybe you have not taken an SAT exam and you want to know how to proceed. Finally, maybe you are taking or have taken the SAT, but you don't know how to send your scores to a college. And finally, maybe you're interested in the ACT, which is an alternative to the SAT. So we'll talk about all those topics here in this video. First off, this new thing as of a couple years ago, test optional. More and more colleges are becoming test optional. In fact, all colleges and universities in the state of Colorado are test optional, meaning you can choose whether or not to submit test scores if you've taken an SAT or ACT. If you're unsure if a test score is required, it's really on you to figure out if the test score is required as part of the application. College admissions websites are the best spot to go. Sometimes within the application itself, it'll tell you. But nicely for the state of Colorado, all colleges and universities have started to provide some guidance to help you decide whether or not you choose to send your scores. So let's take a moment here, and I'm going to show you where you can find some information on the Loveland High School College-Bound Google Classroom. Again, you should all be on here. If not, here's the code to join, 2T6IBZA. If you scroll down, there's a post. The post was from August 28th, so near the bottom of the page. And on there, you'll see that there's a document attached. And this document does a nice job. I know it's going to be really hard to see on your screen, but it outlines the advice, as they say here, on submitting test scores from each college or university in the state of Colorado. Some colleges and universities provide some really clear guidance about who they recommend to send test scores, if anyone. Others will say that they're not given much weight at all. And this is really some good information that all of you should read before you decide whether or not to send your test scores. In the final column, the other thing to look at here is whether or not test scores are required for scholarship eligibility. Often that means merit-based or academic scholarships. In the past, many merit-based scholarships were based on a combination of things that included GPA and test scores. But now that colleges are not requiring test scores for admission, they are often not included for scholarship eligibility. However, sometimes they are. So it's really important to read through whether or not test scores might be beneficial for your admission, but also whether or not they may be beneficial for scholarship eligibility. So again, this is a 2-page document. It's a very simple, straightforward document on the Google Classroom. I highly suggest that all of you applying to colleges in the state of Colorado take a look. Moving on, when can you take an SAT? Some of you, many of you, took the SAT in what's called the State of Colorado SAT during the spring of your junior year. That was in April of 2022. If you decide that you want to take the test again to improve your score, or if you want to take the test for the first time, if you did not take the test in April, you will need to sign up for what's called a national SAT. There are roughly 7 dates throughout the year when these are given. These are always on Saturday mornings. And you will register and pay for this test through your College Board account. All of you should have a College Board account. If you do not have one, you can simply go to the College Board site, create an account, and register for an exam. A few things to make note of. Number 1, register early. Many testing centers are filling up very quickly this year because there are less testing locations than ever in the state of Colorado. And you will already are required to register about a month ahead of time because the registration deadline is always about a month before the test itself. If you're registering very close to that deadline, you might find that locations have filled. So get on your College Board account if you plan to retest. Sign up soon. You may have limited options. When you sign up, you will be asked to do things like fill out information about where you go to school, upload a picture so that they can verify it's you that's taking the test, and enter information like contact information so that they can reach out if there are any changes to your registration. So be very detailed, be very thorough, and make sure everything in your account is accurate. Again, you will be paying a fee to take the test. Some of you may qualify for a fee waiver, so you will see some information about fee waiver eligibility. For example, if you qualify for free and reduced lunch, you can note that within your account, and your counselor can give you a fee waiver code, but you'll need that to waive the fee. So if you have any questions or if you need that fee waiver eligibility, see your counselor right away. Some of you may choose to take the ACT. The ACT has a little bit different format, but most colleges in the country who are looking for a test score will take one of the other, whether it be the ACT or SAT, and some students score comparatively better on one or the other. They're on very different scales, but you can see some tables online that kind of compare an ACT score versus an SAT score and which one might be stronger. To register and to create an account to do so, you will go to the act.org website. There's a URL there on the slide for you. Again, most of you in this case will not have an ACT account, so you would need to create your account, identify testing locations and a testing date, and then register again at least 1 month ahead of time. And again, testing locations will be very few and far between just because the ACT is not as common in the state of Colorado. Finally, how do you send your scores if you choose to do so? If you decide that you want to send your SAT or ACT results to colleges, you will do that directly. You will make a request directly through your college board for the SAT or through your ACT account. Now, it will cost you about $12 per college if you've already taken the test to send your scores, but if you include colleges when you sign up to test, you'll be able to add up to about four colleges for free as part of your testing fee. So if you're signing up for a future test and you know that you want your scores to be sent, you can elect to do so before testing day. The only downside there, obviously, is that you do not know how you will do, and that score is not something you will see before it is sent. If it is sent directly from College Board or ACT, it'll be considered an official score. The high school does not even have the ability to send scores anymore. Only official scores can be sent for students, and that needs to come directly from one of those accounts. Some students wait until they get their test scores to apply to college. We strongly suggest that you do not do that unless you've had a conversation with an admissions office and they are recommending that you do so. So let's say that you have, for example, an SAT scheduled in November or December, and you want to take advantage of the Colorado free application days. Those days are the 18th through 20th of October, and you need to submit your application within that 3-day window to take advantage. If you wait for your SAT or ACT scores to be posted in November or December, or potentially afterward, because the test score does not post immediately, you could be then forced to submit your application late, which puts you at a disadvantage potentially, and forces you to pay the application fee because you're too late for the free application days. So again, if you're unsure about how to proceed with an application, depending on a test score that you are waiting or one that's pending, always reach out to college admissions offices. They can give you the best guidance. Otherwise, feel free to stop by the LHS counseling office. We are happy to help. Thank you for viewing video number 3, standardized testing.